We are on to our final Trailblazer, but we have left a hoot for last. Clancy has just been someone that has brought so much joy to our week, and hopefully one of our new best friends because he's amazing. So please welcome Clancy to the stage.
How's it going, everyone? You're doing so well. Last one, and we're going to have a talk and all that. So, yeah, I love native bees. But I've recently found out that insects in Australia are stuffed. My love for all of it started just when I was a young fella, growing up in a small country town of New America. And I spent a lot of my time out in the bush, making cubbies and climbing trees, and filling my pockets with cool bugs and insects. I couldn't get enough of Steve Irwin and constantly was fascinated by the nature and the beautiful deserts and bush and rainforest country that the First Nations people have looked after here for thousands of years. Staying true to my love for nature, I followed my dreams through learning about the environment and science, and eventually I ventured off to the big smoke to study this at university. And this is where I was involved in some really cool fieldwork as a part of my Masters of Bioscience degree. My research took me deep into the heart of northeast Arnhem Land, where I lived and thrived in Aboriginal communities, investigating why things were appearing to young elders at the wrong times. Godacre, or stringybarks in mass flower, and fruit bats leaving the mangroves is meant to be a sign to tell the elders that the cuckoo, or native bee honey, is ready to collect. And I had the first-hand experience of seeing the excitement on the faces of families and children ready to find cuckoo, which is so important to their culture. And this all turned to disappointment when I seen their concerns that these once plentiful hives were now providing stuff-all honey. It was in this moment which ignited a passion inside me to fight for the conservation of native bees and pollinators, for plants, for ecosystems, and for the very culture of First Nations people. I've since learned about how native insects in Australia are declining, and around 9,000 species have gone extinct since European invasion. That is as many as 3 species every single week. And insects are in this deep strife because of our wrongdoings. Habitat loss for agriculture and housing developments, global warming from some of Australia's coal mining mates, and as well as under-regulated use of insecticides and pesticides. But I don't want to sound like a sad sack, because we can all do something to help. And it starts in our classrooms, in our backyards, and at local council level. As individuals, we can all plant locally indigenous flowering plants in our gardens and backyards, and create insect habitats like native bee hotels. Pretty simple and easy. As councils, we need to rip up those boring lawn nature strips and turn them into havens for insects with flowering plants. And I'm going to turn it back onto each and every one of you in here as well, to make larger changes. Tell me why it's as easy to get a permit as a developer to destroy nature than what it is as a conservationist seeking to repair it. We urgently need nature reforms and laws, and we need to get fair dinkum about allocating more of the budget to protect biodiversity in Australia before it's gone forever. Speaking of gone forever, can everyone in this room take a moment to realise that there's species of plants, insects and animals that you have all lived alongside and enjoyed, hundreds of species, that I, at the ripe age of 23, have never had the chance to experience because it's already become extinct. And there's insects and animals that I've lived alongside and shared these lands with that future generations will never have the chance to witness. And that's why I'm set on inspiring the next generation of nature lovers, because we clearly aren't doing enough. And I want to spend my time as a trailblazer to give back to regional communities, raising awareness on native pollinators and encouraging everyone to learn about local Indigenous knowledge. It's clear that there's a hunger for this sort of knowledge. I've been doing tons of workshops and educating people on social media online. I've made over 800 of these bee hotels for the 2,000 plus species of native bees that we have here in Australia, and the kids love it. I've received over 2.5 million views online, and I've got the QR code for you to jump on and support. And I've been doing my part to run these workshops and inspiring everyday Aussies and the next generation. But you can do your part as well. For $400 a pop, I can run a workshop in a regional school for free. And anyone with media, radio or documentary ties and contacts, I'd love to reach more ears. So come see me afterwards for a chinwag and reach out to all the other cool projects. And yeah, let's make some real changes in here. Have a good one.
Okay, So I have a plan. You know how paint and sip is really